This gym owner was literally about to close his doors. He was getting 2 members a month, he was in debt, and he was terrified to spend the money he didn't have.
I was struggling very much with lead generation, lead nurture for the very few people that I was able to get through the doors. I had absolutely no plan for marketing. I knew nothing about sales. I was very afraid at the beginning because the thought of spending money that I didn't have to try to make more money was absolutely frightening.
But fast forward 90 days, he had added 60 new clients to his gym. And now, at the time of recording this video, he's already opened his second location because his first location that went from almost shutting down was completely filled up.
And this is no bullshit. I'm a local gym owner just like you in a small community. I didn't even know there was this many people in a 7 mile radius of my gym that were actually interested in our services.
So in this video, I'm going to break down the exact system that we installed inside of Zach's gym, the same exact system that turned a struggling, almost closed facility into a fast growing, stable, profitable business in just a few months. And at the end of this, I'll show you the single tweak that instantly doubled his upfront cash collected as well. So let's start with where Zach actually was, because honestly, most gym owners might actually be closer to where he is when he started with us than you think. When Zach booked a call with us, he was stuck at about 2 new members a month. And that was on a good month. He had no lead flow. He had no nurture process in place. He had no real sales process. In fact, like he was convinced that he wasn't a salesperson. And zero marketing strategy whatsoever. Mentally, he was absolutely fried. He didn't trust coaches anymore, also because he had been burned before coming to us.
I had worked with other mentors, other coaches who helped gym owners, and I didn't receive the help that I received at Gym Academy. I was very afraid at the beginning because the thought of spending money that I didn't have to try to make more money was absolutely frightening.
So here's what I'm going to unpack for you today. Number one, why Zach was stuck and why most gym owners plateau here. Two, the 3 systems that we installed that changed absolutely everything. Three, my broken ass finger, how he signed 40 members in his first 60 days. Four, the emotional shift, how he went from being panicked to absolutely in control, and what's happening now, plus the big lesson for gym and studio owners. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you the exact sales tweak that turns Zach from I'm not a sales guy into someone confidently closing high ticket memberships every single week. So when we first dug into Zach's numbers, it was super clear as to why he was stuck because we found the 3 killers that destroy 90% of gyms under 50 members. Number one, he had no leads coming in, so he was just absolutely starved for those leads. Two, he had no nurture process, so even if he did get leads, like they just fell through the cracks. Three, he had absolutely zero conversion process, so good luck actually closing any new members. His first issue of having lead starvation, he had zero consistent lead flow, which then leads to when you don't have any lead flow, it leads to unpredictable revenue. When you do not have predictable revenue, it leads to the gym owner panicking. And when you're panicking, you're just actually avoiding what you need to actually do.
I was, sitting on like 2 new members a month if I was lucky, just organically.
The reality is you cannot out hustle a broken pipeline. You need volume of new leads and you need those new leads to be quality as well. Now, once you did get leads, and he was getting, he would get leads, not a lot, but he would get some leads. But those leads were not getting followed up with. The greatest mistake that gyms can make is assuming that somebody who fills out a form is ready to buy. Zach had zero automation set up. He had no scripts to actually follow up if he was calling the leads. He had zero time line and process. So yeah, he wasn't even calling those leads with speed or anything of that nature. And by the stroke of luck, would a new member actually come in? So only the people that are coming in were fully friggin' dedicated. They were buying regardless. Now, you cannot scale a gym that way. Just be clear, but you probably do operate your gym that way too. Now, no nurture process, terrible lead flow. On top of that, then he had zero conversion process. And this is an absolute big one. He felt he wasn't a salesperson. In fact, he was probably like most gym owners, he was terrified of it.
I knew nothing about sales and didn't consider myself a salesman, and they absolutely changed my life.
This is exactly why most gym owners stay stuck between 30 to 60 members forever. They think sales is like hardcore persuasion. They think sales is like sleazy. It's not. It is 100% leadership. You cannot coach somebody. Like, you get into the game of owning a gym because you're an absolutely great coach and you want to help people. You cannot help somebody. You cannot ever coach somebody if you don't enroll them, if you don't sell them. So if you want to be great at sales, just really think about it. It's not persuasion. It's not sleazy. It's leadership. It's clarity, and it's structure. And frankly, Zack, he needed all three of those, especially needed structure. Now, here's where everything changes. We installed 3 systems. The first system was an actual lead engine. He needed consistent lead flow. We launched a simple direct response style Facebook and Instagram ad campaign. Nothing fancy, but the key was matching Zack's offer to his ideal avatar. So, who his ideal client was and what they wanted. The 3-part offer that we used was a clear outcome that was time bound with a strong guarantee wrapped with it. Inside of his first month, he generated over 100 leads.
And they delivered immediately. Within the first month, I gained over 15 clients and over 100 leads through the Facebook ads that they did for me, the full script. They brought me through an entire training process on marketing, ads, sales. To be honest, it actually blew my mind.
We needed to make sure that we had a nurture as well as an automated framework in place to then handle those leads. So we built out his automations, we fixed the CRM, we used our version of GHL, which is Go High Level, so that once those leads actually came in from his ads, we were then able to get them to book appointments. Now, this is where most gyms, they just leak out 80% of their opportunity. What you need to have, honestly, at the bare minimum, is you need to have automated text sequences set up as well as email follow-up set in place. You can manually do them 100%, but you should at least have automation set up in place so when a lead comes in, they're immediately getting a text. They're immediately getting a follow-up. Once they book appointments, you should also have that automated. They should have a sequence of emails and texts leading up to their appointments from the minute they book to the minute they actually when it's supposed to be. I would also make sure that you have a pipeline in place so you know exactly where the leads are, whether they've been contacted, or they haven't been contacted, whether they booked an appointment, whether they showed up, closed, all that. You should really have that in your pipeline because that's going to be really important later on. And that pipeline that you have of all this list of leads, like that is going to be consistent signups every single month. That if you don't have this set up properly, you're going to be missing out on. On top of that, when you do get new leads coming in, you have to have a really dialed in daily follow-up task list. So make sure that, like, honestly, you're calling the leads right away, not 5 minutes, within 1 minute, and every single day for at least the first 7 days. Which then means the third system that we needed to put in place is the actual sales process that finally stuck for him. Now, when Zack first joined, the first sentence that he said that we hear from almost every struggling gym owner is, I'm not a sales guy. Once we taught him the actual sales methods that we use and the sales process that we use, he was like, wow, it was actually easier than I thought. Because you naturally want to help people, becoming great at sales when it's done properly isn't that hard when we disassociate from the negative connotations that come with it.
These guys really trained me up and they held my hand through the process.
We gave them the scripts, taught them how to handle any objections, but ideally how to actually prevent objections. When you do the process properly, you can prevent objections. We then also worked when we did the role plays, everything like that. And he went ahead and he actually executed. He nailed it perfectly. He took his scarcity mindset, went to an abundance mindset. He didn't have any sort of hesitation. He stepped right into that leadership role of being like what a true gym owner should be. And as a result, he was able to now start converting new clients every single week. And in a minute, I will show you the one tweak that he did do that also doubled his upfront cash collected as well. So once these systems were live, this is how the next 60 days actually played out. Week 1, got his ads live, his automations were set up in place. His first 30 leads hit in 48 hours. In the second week, he was booking 2 to 4 appointments daily, and his confidence was absolutely emerging. In the fourth week, he had already by now signed up 15 new clients, and his systems had now become predictable. All of that happened inside of the first 4 weeks.
I went from a fear of not having people come through the door to a fear of, holy fuck, I have so many people coming through the door that I have to actually answer these calls and sell them.
Inside of the second month, from day 30 to 60, he was almost already at 40 new members. His revenue had consistency, was climbing every single week. And his workload shifted from like begging for business to now fulfilling demand. But it was really cool. Like, listen, the numbers are absolutely great. This is business. I absolutely love talking about that aspect. That's why we get into it. But the reason why it's so important is when the business is growing, when there's money coming in, when there's money left over, when the bank account is growing, you can finally, as a business owner, take a breath. So the real win was the mental shift that Zach was able to have as a result.
Like I said, I was frightened. I was in debt. I put this money on my credit card. That credit card's now paid off. I moved into a new house. I'm now 4 months in, and I'm actually in the process of considering and looking into a second location.
What real business systems actually do is they give you your confidence back. Frankly, when you have predictability, you remove fear. And then it's just a mathematical equation, because I know that if I'm signing up 5 people a week, 10 people a week, it's only a matter of time before I'm, next thing you know, I've added 50 members, 75 members, 100 members, 200 members, and beyond. What's really cool, when you have this predictability in place, when you have this system in place that you know that you're growing, this next part is what's really cool, because it changes everything for the gym owners. And this is the one tweak that doubled his upfront cash. So we made one change. We shifted his offer presentation to anchor everything around the upfront commitment. Before, it was low upfront. His revenue was delayed because he had to wait in order to collect a ton of cash. Afterwards, he had higher upfront cash. He had better retention because they were investing more from the very beginning. And he was getting more committed clients, because clients that pay attention. And instantly, by doing this, we were able to fix cash flow as well as improve client quality. So here's the big takeaway. Zach, he did not succeed because he was lucky. In fact, he was like many gym owners. He opened up a gym because he was passionate about fitness, not because he was passionate about business. But he ended up succeeding, despite all of this, because he installed the systems. He then did the reps, and he trusted the process. So if you're a gym owner who's stuck, who's not getting enough leads, who has no clear sales process, who has inconsistent revenue, and you want the same systems that Zach has that allowed him to add 60 members in 90 days, that has now allowed him to open up his second location. And then inside of this description is a link for you to apply to work with my team. Give us a little bit of information so we understand where the business is now, and then you'll hop on with one of my team members. They'll get a lot of clarity around what you need to do in order to get to your goals. And they'll give you an exact demo of how our systems and processes work. Whether or not you do that and you work with us, you now know exactly what you need to do in order to grow your gym. So if you like this, comment below, let us know, subscribe for more videos. Peace.